Yo, people, what is good? Hockey here. It's been so fucking long since I even done a video, man. I can't sit where I'm sitting right now usually because my brother's with me for a month because of some stuff that happened. So yeah, so I haven't really been able to do a video because of that, and so I apologize. I had a big plan to do a lot of videos, and then this happened, so it put a real big kink in everything. But I guess that'll be all right. Everything will be all right. He's at work right now, so I decided that whenever he kind of goes to work, that I'll do the video. But that's usually like his schedule is just strange as fuck because he gets called in all the time, every now and then. So, but right now, this video, I want to just give my impressions so far on The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS. Now, if you haven't got this game and you haven't played Majora's Mask at all, I do recommend this. I highly fucking recommend this game. This game is just fucking great. I love this game. I played it so many times. I'm surprised I even would have got it again, because I'm always one of the people I'm like, I already played it like 1,000. I don't need to get a remake or something like that. But I felt like I fucking had to. I had to get this shit. And there's a whole nother fiasco with my 3DS, the new Majora's Mask 3DS edition that I reserved and didn't end up fucking getting. Stuff. There's a lot of stuff that just pissed me off correlated to this release of this game. But overall, I'm fucking excited about this shit. So, without further ado, people, let's go ahead and get started into this shit. Okay, now this is just weird doing a first impressions to a game I've played so many times. But anyway, I think Nintendo did a few things that, even though a lot of them are not big, some people might not even notice some of these changes. But these little things that just make the game a little bit more accessible and a lot better to maintain the events that are going on in the game. Now, for starters, one of the bigger changes they made was actually to the Bomber Notebook, which is actually one of my most favorite fucking changes in this game. Now, the Bomber Notebook also now does a lot of key things, like an RPG track list, pretty much almost, where it keeps track of your events, your quests, and then list them and completed quests and not. Now, I don't have a capture device to truly show you like I would like to, but my camera can actually pick up the screen in 3DS pretty damn well, so I can give it an example of what I'm talking about. Now, see, since how it says ongoing quest, if I scroll down, you probably won't see this other one because it's yellow, but it's listed as rumored events, which are little events that people talk about that usually lead to heart pieces, etc., little things like that. But you also have your completed quest with a list of the completed quests that you have completed with the faces of the people that are pretty much incorporated and giving you that quest. Now, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a, it's actually a huge change. A lot of people might not have noticed. It'd be hard as hell not to notice. But then the reason I said a lot of people might not have noticed is because a lot of people probably never really opened the Bomber's Notebook to begin with in the original Majora's Mask for the N64, because why the fuck would you need to really open it? There was really no reason to open it. It kind of listed some interesting information, but it was just a little bundle of mess actually to kind of filter through, and they did a good job in this. Now, one of the other things I really enjoy about this, and I'm going to go ahead and show again this screen that I'm on. And now, if I see, I'm on the Anju's Anguish, which is a long quest that is actually related to the guy under him and the guy also under him. So, boom, we click this. Now, on the bottom screen right here, you might see it says alarm. Right here, it says alarm. Now, what that does is you can set an alarm, and it will notify you when an event is actually about to happen. Now, it's always good to set the alarm about the hour before the event actually happens. Like in real life, you always want to set the alarm a little bit before your actual time of your event, because you want to get there. And so the way they did it helps a lot. Plus, it helps that even though the events might start at 12 o'clock, it doesn't naturally actually start at 12. People usually start going to that location or arrive a little bit after the time that they actually set. which also kind of helps you get there on time, so you don't miss out on some of these events. That's one of the little things that they actually kind of changed that I really enjoy. Also, the way the screen is actually set up now is quite good. Of course, you have your little typical touchscreen. If you played the Ocarina of Time 3DS, you understand how they have the setup, but it's listed in these nice little categories now that are just very helpful. You have your mask, your gear, and your items. You can and your map as well as the ocarina right on the other side, right there. So you don't actually have to set the ocarina to an actual thing. Let me turn off, pause the game because I'm in the middle of something. Just little things like this that they just add, just makes the experience so much more better and fluid without not having to pause the game to actually switch a mask. Just use my, usually have all my, I can show you how I have my mask set up actually, because this will actually lead into actually what I want to talk about next, which is how they have the mask, little mask screen. Now, if all I have to do for my primary masks, which are the transforming masks, I just usually slide my thumb all of them and slide them up to the top icon, which is like this eye, whatever the fuck it is right there. It's a 1. It represents 1, Roman numeral. You just slide it up there, and that's where I usually have all my masks set. I do it really quickly, just boom, slide, and it's done. Like, stuff like this just makes it so much easier to do things, because Majora's Mask, that's one of the issues I actually had with it, was the fact that it caused a lot of switching. Definitely later on when you get to Ikeda Canyon, I always say this fucking name wrong, and you do the tower there. It's a pain. You're just switching back and forth from mask to mask. But you always, when you're regular Link, you always want to have that bunny hood, so you always like that bunny hood over as well. I forgot to do that. But yeah, I haven't really put a whole lot of hours into this game, but wherever I go, I always try to pretty much complete that area or that zone. That's why my screen is like full of like masks. I'm just missing a few masks that aren't that hard to get, and some you get as the story kind of progresses. But yeah, I'm getting there. But other than that, there's one other change that is not major, but it's such a helpful thing that they did to this. Okay, now this is actually quite fucking easy to show you.
I don't know.
Now, if you've played the original Majora's, there's no way you can miss this. This is Clock Town. This is where you first start off. Now, usually this owl is on the opposite side. Usually this owl, let's see if I can navigate there inverted. Usually it's on this side of the building, but now it's over here. Oh my gosh, oh my fucking god. Go Link, go, you got this, Link. Okay, now this guy is also in a new location. He wasn't here before. He was actually in East, I think, East Clock Town. Now he's a lot more conveniently placed, so when you actually teleport, he's usually right behind you. All you gotta do is turn around, or actually you usually just walk forward because it teleports you and transfers you facing south. So boom, you just whoop, and you're right there. He's standing right there. Instead of you having to go all the way to east, even though it's not far from there, you still gotta go and walk down and talk to him. Now it's so much more conveniently placed. It is easier for you to get to him. Now those are like the changes I could show. They changed some of the bosses. So far I've only fought 2 of the bosses because, like I said, I'm taking my time going through. But they changed the first boss. He doesn't spit out moths actually, which I'm probably sure maybe not a lot of people noticed that shit. But it was strange that he didn't do it, because before he spammed that shit, like in the 64 version he spammed it, and I was kind of, I was waiting for it to happen, and it never ever fucking happened. So they took that out, and he never did it. I waited like a long time waiting for him to do this shit. He never actually did it. And with the Snow Peak boss, Goroth, whatever, the bull, and I think they did some changes there too. Just these minor changes. I haven't seen what they did with the Zora boss guy. Yeah, these names are so weird in the game, the bosses, that I just can't ever remember the names. But I have to see what they did with that, change wise. But overall, I'm really fucking enjoying this game. Like, I've played the shit out of it already on the original, and I'm doing the same now. I haven't really got to put in a lot of time like I want to, but I'm gonna decide I was gonna play some more today, because I'm not doing anything and I'm free, and I just kind of want to go ahead and finish the Zora quest. I've been doing like these little challenges where I came up with it after I beat the first dungeon, but I did Snow Peak on the final day, 100% of it, collected everything, and I actually did it. And I was fucking happy. I kind of almost didn't do it because I couldn't find the last fairy, and I forgot that there's a fairy in the ceiling that you have to use the Lens of Truth. So if you're looking for a fairy that you're probably missing in Snow Peak, make sure you look at the roof of every room, because I'm not going to tell you the exact room, because you got to find out for yourself. But make sure you look at the roof of every room with the Lens of Truth, and you will see a fucking fairy up there. Good hints. Make sure you collect those fairies because it's so helpful. Also, they did a little bit of changes to the Goron. The roll effect is a lot different, actually a lot better to manage. You press A to get into roll, and while you're rolling, you push A to get out of roll. Now the Zora, on the other hand, it's kind of iffy. The controls are just weird now. They're better but weirder. You don't swim as fast as you used to, sadly. But there's some things you can do. Now your normal swim is a lot slower, a lot easier to manage. The only way to go fast is if you consume magic, which is the biggest downfall, I think, of it. Also, the swim was inverted, not inverted, it was normal, and it just felt awkward to me because you push up and you swim down. So I had to change all this. I had to change it around, but that's to everybody else's liking. But I think this video has gone on long enough, though. You probably get my general overall thoughts and an impression over this, and I'm enjoying it. I think Nintendo did a great job changing things. I haven't really came across anything bad yet. It's pretty much the original game, with some tweaks that just make it a far greater experience. And I definitely think if you're new to Zelda, this is the game to go. It's a lot different than your typical Zelda game, so in a way it's not. In a way, I was like, it kind of breaks the Zelda formula a lot. Definitely with the dungeon types aren't your typical water dungeon, earth dungeon, fire dungeon, stuff like that. They're not your typical dungeons like your typical Zelda game would have. So I would actually say Ocarina of Time is more like a thing to jump into. But if you've never played a Zelda game, I do highly recommend it, because this pretty much is my favorite Legend of Zelda game. I love it. I played a majority of the Zelda games. I haven't played the CDI games or anything like that. I don't fucking want to touch those. But any other like home console Nintendo Zelda game, I've played them and I love them. But this right here just takes the cake. I love it. I fucking love it. But let me know what you guys think about Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS. If you have it, if you're planning on picking it up, also let me know. I definitely would love to hear it. But until next time, guys, I've been Hockey, and I'll talk to you guys later. And I hope it ain't long until I see your faces again. Peace out.